Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this GPD WinMax 2 2023. Alright, the model number is down here. It's G1619-03. Okay, kind of hard to read, but there you go. We're going to be using a small Phillips screwdriver. This is a PH 000. Okay, and we're going to remove all the screws from the bottom. Right. You want to keep the screws in order just in case they're different size, shape, or length. So what I do, I keep them in the pattern I remove them. Let me see here. So first thing we're going to do is remove this 4G cover. Okay, so this screw actually kind of stays in there, but make sure if it comes out that you don't lose it. All right, we're going to have to disconnect a little cable here. So let me zoom in and show you that. All right, so there's that little connector there. This is for internet, I think, for what do you call if you put a SIM card, right? So I just use my fingernail to prop that or pry that up, and you can see now it's loose. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove all the other screws all around. Okay, so there's one screw here. There's a couple screws on the back as well, so make sure you get those. Okay, all right, let's see, are the screws gonna come out or stay in there? Oh, they might stay in there. Alright, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Right? If you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. It would help a lot if you could subscribe to that one as well. Oh, see, this screw came out, so make sure to keep it safe. But yeah, if you could subscribe to that one as well, that'll help a lot. Alright, anyways, let's continue removing all these screws. Okay, I just twist it until I hear it click. That means the screw's kind of coming out. And then you got 3 screws back here. Okay, so we'll remove those. Make sure you don't drop these screws. They're super tiny. And if you lose them, I don't know where you would get replacements. Okay, so make sure, just be ready to catch it. There we go. And the third one. Oh, actually, there's a fourth one here. Okay, and since we loosened all the other screws, make sure not to flip this thing upside down because those screws might fall out. Alright, so there we go. Got all those screws out, and the cover now is kind of loose. It looks like it comes out super easily. Alright, I believe the customer opened this before. The one thing you have to be careful with is make sure this cable gets threaded through. Okay, so push that down into there, and you might need some tweezers or something to get it up the second time to get it back through. Alright, so there's the screws and the plate. I don't want to flip it over because the screws might fall out, but there's a wireless card under here. Actually, let me see. I'll move this aside and then I'll flip it over with the whole thing over the table just in case. Okay, so here you can see the wireless card, and I think that's for EG25-G. What's that? It's probably for like cellular network wireless card, because you can see here this says for SIM card there. Okay, we're gonna set that aside for now. Now let's take a closer look at this. I believe the customer said that they redid the thermal paste. I'm not gonna pull it up because I don't want to have to redo the thermal paste if it's already done and if it's not overheating. Okay, here you can see how this connects to the board. All right, and what is that? That looks like a speaker cone or something. Yeah, so I think these are the speakers. So they did peel this up at some point. You got this cable here. This looks like it goes to more speakers at the bottom here, so down here and here. The battery is right there. This is the battery model, AEC634791-4S1P. Okay, and I'm not going to pull all of that out because we don't need to repair or replace any of that. The only thing we need to do is replace the SSD. Looks like there's another slot for an SSD or something here. I'm not quite sure if that's what it's for. It could just be for like a Wi-Fi card. It looks like that SIM card also acts as the wireless, because I don't see any other wireless card in here. Oh, actually, sorry. The Wi-Fi card is actually soldered to this board, so it's not removable. And then you got the two antennas there, and yeah. Then there's the vibration motor here, and they put some kind of glue or silicone or something there to hold it down. This little cable, it has a little flip latch. Pretty sure it's like a keyboard backlight cable. It looks like there's two vibration motors there. The fan connector, super tiny right there. But yeah, we're not going to be disconnecting all of that. You can see how these buttons are connected with these little flat ribbon cables underneath the heatsink there, and then another one here. And yeah, I think that's all we're going to look at in there. So let's go ahead now, remove the fan. Let me get a thumbnail here if I didn't already. We're going to remove the fan and then install the SSD. Okay. So the fan is right there, two screws, and we're going to switch to a larger screwdriver bit. I'm going to switch to a PH0 or JS0 bit, and let's go ahead and undo these screws. Okay, again, keep the screws in order because they are different size, shape, and lengths. Okay. You don't want to mix up the screws and then damage things. So this one's shorter and then this one's much longer. Let's see if we can lift this out. Okay, we can kind of lift this up and then go in at an angle here to remove this. So if you do that, be very careful. But let me see. Maybe we'll just remove this fan to show you guys if I need to. Okay, we'll grab the little cable here. It's super tiny. And then kind of just wiggle side to side, and there you go. Then we can flip the whole fan over. We can flip the whole fan over and move it out of the way. There's the fan model number if you need that. EG50060S2-C07C-S9A. All right. Anyways, we got that out of the way. Now we can just work on the SSD. So there's. Seriously, we had to pull the battery out to get the okay, so it looks like they put the battery on top of the SSD, so let's go ahead and remove that as well. One screw there. Again, keep all the screws in order. Okay, I don't want to pull the whole battery out if not necessary, because there's antennas and everything attached to this, unless it's just up here. I don't know, but let's see. We'll remove these two screws down here that are holding the antennas. Oh man, did they tuck the battery underneath that? It might be these are the battery screws. Oh, wait, we didn't have to. How did that? Okay. I'm confused. Is this part of the battery or? No? What is this? I thought this was part of the battery. Okay, it doesn't look like part of the battery. So, let's actually put those screws back. Good. I was about to be like, this is such a stupid design. But maybe they did it that way to force you to disconnect the battery or something, but I don't know. Anyways, we're going to get these screws back in. Speaking of which, let me see. Okay, well, first let's go ahead and pull the SSD out. It's an M.2 PCIe NVMe. This is 2 terabyte. I don't know if that's what it came with, but it's 2 terabyte. And this SSD failed. I was trying to clone it, and it was having issues reading. So actually, I don't think the clone is going to work, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, that tape on here. Kind of hate when they do that, because now they might say, hey, you tried to peel up the tape, so that voided the warranty. Oh yeah, you definitely actually have to take the SSD out. So the little plastic piece is holding down the battery connector, and the battery connector is one of those where you get underneath and you just pop it up. All right, let's go ahead and install the new SSD. We got a 990 Evo Samsung SSD. There's this cabling there. Make sure you don't clamp the speaker cabling or shove it into the thing with the SSD. Okay, so pretty simple. This just goes in and then it just sits back into place. And there's a raised lip of this that you need to make sure that the SSD goes past that, because you don't want to clamp it down with the screw and then you'll destroy that. Okay, so wait, wasn't the screw there? Where'd the screw go? Oh no, okay, I was imagining things. Okay, I thought the screw I left in there. Alright, so hold the SSD down, get the screw in, make sure this lines up, and just tighten that down. Alright, there we go. Pretty simple. Oops, I don't know if my head was in the way. Okay, no, I think it should be okay. Alright, then we're going to flip this back over. Make sure you plug this back in the right way. You can see the rainbow cables through this side of the connector that points towards the battery, and then you can see the other pins that points away from the battery. So if you took it out and you need to put it back, make sure you put it back in the right way. Okay. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this with you guys with the camera in the view. Let me see, can I tilt it enough for me to see but also let you guys see? It's going to be a bit tricky, because normally I would have my head directly over it, but if I do that then you guys can't see anything. But I might have to just do that because otherwise I can't get this in. So let me do that real quick and I'll be back. Okay, sorry, I had to look closer and then I just lined it up. I didn't push it down yet. So once you get the connector in there, obviously you want to make sure to push it down into the slot all the way. Okay, now that it's slid in, it should be good. All right, you can see how it's staying connected. It's not popping out. All right, now let's go ahead and get the fan screws back in. And yeah, we're almost done here. We just got to put everything back together. Again, the short one with the wide top goes right there, and then the long one with the not so wide top goes up here. Right, if you want, you can stick this tape back down and be annoying again and make it look like it peeled up that label. Alright, let's zoom back out. Now we just need to put the bottom cover back on, and that's pretty much all there is to this, at least for upgrading the SSD. If you're wondering where the RAM was, I believe it was those two chips that were underneath the SSD. It's not upgradable, so yeah. Alright, get everything lined up. You can go ahead and, oops, I need to switch to the smaller screwdriver bit again. Right, and then we're going to screw these back in. I like to twist it backwards to hear it click and then tighten it down. All right. That way it doesn't cross thread or anything. Okay. All right, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If you need to reinstall Windows, I believe it's F7 to boot from an external boot device. You can stay for that if you want. I'm going to do that in a bit. And then it should just be the normal Windows installation method of just running through. I'm going to clear out the... oh, whoops. Don't forget to thread that through. My bad. Now we got to take all this back out. What a waste of time. Take this back out. Sorry, I forgot that step. So the tricky part is getting this lifted up and then into there as you go. You have to start somewhat further back, okay? If you want, you can kind of bend the cable a little bit, but be careful not to bend it too much, right? And then you gotta just look through the hole, see where the cable is. Oops, let me zoom in here. Okay, let me show you guys this closer. Okay, so you can bend this up slightly to make it stay more vertical. All right, and then we got to work with like moving this up and down just to see where that cable is. Okay, This is the tricky part. Okay, there you go. And then once you can see that kind of coming through, make sure it goes all the way. And there you go. Should be good. All right, let's get all the screws back in, but you do need to make sure to click this back down. All right, and once you click it, it should just stay there on its own. Okay, this has a little thing here that kind of holds it into place. So we can actually go ahead and put that first. Although now, because the other screws aren't in, it's kind of floating above it. It didn't actually push down on top of it yet. All right, let's zoom in. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get all the screws back in. Again, if this video helped you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Right? Again, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. And other than that, I do have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. If you can subscribe to that, that'll be very helpful. All right, and I'll really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get the last few screws in. This one has an extra slot for a secondary SSD. I'm not sure the length required, so the measurement is in, I believe, millimeters. So you can measure how long this is. This is probably about I think it's like the 20 centimeter or slightly longer model, whatever that is. I don't know, because I don't use those. I've never really used those smaller SSDs, so I'm not sure what sizes are available, but you want to measure the length of that slot to find out. Or you can probably just read the manual or something, look up, and somebody will probably tell you. But anyways, let's go ahead and get these last few screws in. And then we'll see if we can install Windows on here. Oh, I need to get my little toolkit. That's my Windows installer. Last screw. All right, there we go. Let's see if it even will boot from the original clone that I did. So power it on. And why is it staying black? This is scaring me. All we changed was the SSD. Does it not like this SSD? Is that what's going on? Oh, there we go. I don't know why it took so long, but there you go. Oh, it probably took a long time because it couldn't find the SSD. I mean the boot. All right. So you can see it has that. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and turn this off, and we're going to have to get the Windows boot. All right. So let me go grab the SSD or the USB installer. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. We got the Windows 11 USB installer. I'm going to connect that. And since there's nothing on the hard drive that's going to boot, it'll probably just auto boot from that. But I think from what I Googled, you have to press F7 if for some reason it's not booting automatically to the USB. Okay. But I think it's going to auto boot. So let me plug in the charger since this process is going to take a while. Okay, you can see it's still thinking. We should see the little spinning circle soon, and that means we can start the installation process. Okay. Wow, this takes a long time. Oh, there you go. All right, spinning around, so we should be good to go. Windows 11 installer is starting up. All right, so we're gonna go next. We're going to install and agree that everything will be deleted. Next. Okay. accept. Or do I have to use the mouse? Okay, accept. What did I click? There we go. Okay, it's still going. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we can see the partitions from when I tried to clone it but failed. So I'm gonna just delete the partitions. So I'm gonna go to each one and then push tab and delete, or D to delete it, and it will change it to unallocated. Oops, I'm pushing Q. It's like, why isn't it working? Okay, and the last one, the partition ones are my USB, so I don't want to delete those, and it actually doesn't give me the option to delete, so that's good. Alright, we're going to press enter on unallocated space of the disk 0, which is the SSD, and we'll let it run. Okay, so we're going to install, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, hopefully it helped. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Just follow the instructions, and then if you need the drivers or software specific to this device, then you'll want to go to the GPD website, most likely. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you're not sure where to get the drivers or anything, let me know, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.